Good morning, everyone. My name is Nichanan Singti. I'm a foreign medical student at Prince of Songkla University. Today, I would like to present a research study titled Development of CYP2C19 Genotyping Method using MassARRAY technology and its application in patients taking clopidogrel in Southern Thailand. Clopidogrel is secondary anti-platelet product which are used for the treatment of acute coronary syndrome and for secondary in myocardial infarctions, stroke, and peripheral arterial disease. Clopidogrel is metabolized in the liver into oxidative step, mediated by several cytochrome P450 enzyme to convert into the active form, and CYP2C19 is involved in both steps. Pharmacogenetics is important for clopidogrel bioactivations because CYP2C19 genetic variations strongly affect its efficacy. In Asia, four alleles are commonly found: STAR1, STAR2, STAR3, and STAR17. Each allele processes are different enzyme activity and can be identified by a nucleotide variant. As I showed the table, STAR2 have the G to A transition at position 681. STAR3 have the G to A transition at position 636. And STAR17 have the C to 3 transition at position -806. Based on the CPIC guideline, if the functions of CYP2C19 activity is decreased, it is recommended to avoid standard dose clopidogrel and consider prasugrel and ticagrelor instead. For CYP2C19 genotyping, Sanger sequencing is gold standard method for determining nucleotide polymorphism. However, clinical use of Sanger sequencing for CYP2C19 genotyping is limited because it is time-consuming and provide low throughput. In contrast, genetic typing by MassARRAY offer faster detections and have a lower cost and suitable for detecting nucleotide polymorphism. But its applicability for CYP2C19 genotyping needs to be evaluated. The objective of this study is to assess the performance of MassARRAY technologies compared to Sanger sequencing method for detection of CYP2C19 STAR1, STAR2, STAR3, and STAR17, and investigate CYP2C19 allele frequency in patients who were taking clopidogrel in Songkla University Hospital. The study design is a comparison of the laboratory method, comparing between the Sanger sequencing as a reference method and MassARRAY genotyping as a comparing method. A total of 53 randomly select DNA a total of 53 random select DNA sample leftover from routine CYP2C19 genotyping were used in the comparison. For MassARRAY test design, for primer design, the four common CYP2C19 variants include CYP2C19 STAR1, STAR2, STAR3, and STAR17 were detected for MassARRAY genotyping. The Agena bioscience software is where used the primer design and checking primer characteristics. The table shows the reference number of the single nucleotide polymorphism found in database and its nucleotide change. The next step is to prepare the DNA extract, starting with DNA setup, amplification, and primer extension. Next, analyze with the multi-top MassARRAY spectrometry. The principle of MassARRAY is based on multi-top mass spectrometry with the soft ionization technology that allows to the analysis of the biomolecule. The result is picture that shows the two peaks of the bed G and bed A at the reference number of the CYP2C19 star 3. So the result indicate the genotype star 1 star 3. The result, the table 1 shows the comparison of CYP2C19 genotyping between MassARRAY and Sanger sequencing. It can be seen that the result is 100 concordance and kappa value of 1. The slide shows the genotype frequency and phenotype frequency obtained from the test. The most common genotype was cytochrome 2 C19 star 1 star 2, which are intermediate metabolizer phenotype. Normal metabolizer phenotype was identified in 21.5% of cases. Most importantly, poor metabolizer phenotype account for 5.7% of cases. Discussion and conclusion. The test performance of CYP2C19 genotyping by MassARRAY method show a 100 concordance with the Sanger sequencing method. Therefore, MassARRAY should be used in routine as the cost-effective. Cause about 50% of patients carry CYP2C19 variant with a decreased function and 7% of the loss function activity. Therefore, the implementation of CYP2C19 genotyping in clinical practice is highly beneficial in the population. Limitation of this study is examine only the major variants. Other audiences should be included to ensure the reliable detection of the variation. Further study should be the conduct investigate the connection between the test and clinical outcome. Thank you for your attention.
Such an interesting topic. Do you have any comments or any questions?
Could you comment on the number of, say, each genotype that you validated using the MassARRAY techniques? Is it enough to just use maybe just 1 or 2 samples for each genotype instead of, I don't know, you seem to be picking 58 samples, right? Randomly.
Normally, I include the sample from the that's routine, that's right. As they have the two groups that I include the first group and the patients that taking clopidogrel and have the major effect that's as known as called the MAX, major adverse cardiovascular events such as the stroke and revascularization, something like that. And it's the next group that I include for screening before taking clopidogrel. And I calculate about the sample size. This is the 53 that's enough. I calculate from the formula of the sense and spec and push the frequency from the database and study from the Southeast Asia researcher.
Have the other allele that can affect the clopidogrel or not? The other allele such as the star 4, 5?
In the database, I search the database from CPIC and farm GKB. That's in the South Asia not found the star data about the star 3, 4 and 5.
But if you want to detect, you can add more in the.
Yes, I want to in the limitations of this study. I think that it's limitation because the primary is because they can using MassARRAY have the specific primer, and I should to buy from the Argentina Bioscience. That's right. And in Southeast Asia, not have the data in this is the reason for the difficult to buy, and it's more the cost effect.